Yeah, the client was a large global pharmaceutical company, and the challenge that they were trying to tackle was a big one. It was a bold ambition that they had, is that they wanted to, one, transform their consumer marketing, and specifically is that they saw a huge opportunity to engage with the consumer post-prescription. They're doing an incredible job, at the beginning with the awareness and the consideration piece. And what they wanted to do was make sure like they're engaging more afterwards, because these consumers are sometimes on these medications or therapeutics for the rest of their lives. And, what a great opportunity to make sure they come alongside them. And when they do engage with them, provide some specific value. And the reason to do so is that, it can help make their lives better within this. Customers are expecting it, and they actually now have an opportunity to actually deliver on that expectation. The results were really impactful. There was an increase in engagement. It's like 30%, which was meaning is that the personalization was highly effective. People were wanting more content, and when they engaged, they felt that something was actually meaningful within it, so they continued on. The second piece is that there was a pretty significant impact to the media effectiveness and efficiency within it, which resulted in $100 million in business as usual media performance on that, which was huge. It was very significant, and the results were immediate, that they're starting to see. And what that meant is that not only were there efficiencies on it, but they could actually take those dollars on the savings and reapply them into new areas, from either experimenting on new things, or just ensuring that they're applying it to other aspects of the business. And the last thing is that they did see an impact in just the overall net revenue. So $400 million in increased net revenue over a 24-month time period, which was a significant increase in just what they were seeing. The question was like, well, how do they achieve that? The biggest thing is that with the combination of Tealium as well as AWS on this, we're able to put together a plan that says we can collect the right information. We can structure that within an AWS environment to connect it and structure it in a way that's more meaningful. We can make it readily available for insights, but one of the biggest things is that we can make it readily available for real-time personalization. So that was the connection that was there. So these things led to making sure the engagement was very good. We were delivering the right experience, but then also the analysis on saying, what are the things that we should tweak from a media planning perspective, what's working, what's not working, what content is resonating within it. So in essence, we could collect all these different pieces of information that were either behavioral pieces of information, from online clicks or media performance data, operational data, bring them together and make them in a useful way that ensures that we are gonna, when we do engage with people, we know it's the right time. And also we're showing the right information that's gonna be helpful for them. I think one of the biggest unique things is that when you think about therapeutics and medicine, people manage their conditions in a lot of different ways. And what Tealium helped us provide is to be aware of, just through the engagement that's happening in real time on the website, maybe how this person is managing their condition. Is it through diet? Is it through exercise? Things of that nature. So we could really cue into like, what should we surface for the individual, really saying like, we're going to target that audience. We're going to feel what is actually going to be helpful to them. So they don't actually have to go through and sift through the information and find that themselves. We're actually going to serve that up. We're going to serve it in a way and a tone that's actually going to be best received for that individual, maybe in the spot or the condition that they're in right now. And then that was a tremendous thing. And that's why when people were engaging more, they're like saying, this is actually hitting the mark. I think one of the biggest things is that when we engage with clients, it's usually to help solve some of their biggest challenges, and they want to do it in a unique way. And one of the things that we found with Tealium, which is incredibly helpful and very unique, is that optionality and flexibility is always there. So we can approach the problem in unique ways, and we can address like what needs to be done, and look at it from a lot of different angles and find the best way to leverage it, even if it's not the standard way. Tealium, it's always been open to say, well, let's try and solve this, or we can do this, with this, versus just following a specific recipe. And that connectiveness on actually trying to solve the problem and what's the best way for our client, which is in result, what's going to be the best situation for the consumer is something that we don't find everywhere, and it's made all the difference. Oftentimes when we're engaged with our clients, they're looking at something to not only identify the problem, but figure out like a unique way that we can help solve it. And the expectation is that we can actually deliver on the end-to-end solution, not only coming up with the strategy, but that's the best way to enable this, or the right solutions to use to help solve this in a very speedy way for the clients, and make sure that we can optimize it. So return on investment is always a big aspect that we need to include in this approach, and how quickly we can deliver value. So speed to value is something that's really big thing. And so we always like to make sure we're partnering with the right companies, using the right technologies to help make that come true. Oftentimes, as well as being part of Omnicom, one of the things that is brought to us is this very bold or big vision, and we have to figure out how to bring that to life. So we need to make sure we've got the flexibility and the optionality to kind of help clients use their existing data, collect more data, or bring in new tools to help them do new things that are going to make a real impact to the customer or the consumer in this case.